Bam. Hello, hello. I hope everybody's having a great night. Peace and blessings and joy to everybody. Well, this has been a long process, and I don't know if anybody's been aggravated by all my starts and not starts, but play has been hit, and I think I have everything worked out, and at least enough for me to be comfortable. Sitting here talking to people I don't know, or maybe I do know, and looking forward to get to know everybody. That clip that I just put on is for the beginning of the show in the morning. I'm still working on this one. I just wanted to get it going. But I've been whittling away a little bit of time and doing little projects here and there so that it won't be so bare. I'm still a little nervous. I just want to start off this whole process with everybody by just, welcoming you into my home. That's Mama Girl back there. It's Mama Girl Noella. And that is, it's hard to see him, but that's Big Boy over there. And it's my living room, and I've been hard at work setting everything up and trying to get it pleasant to look at, and this is hard enough, right? But it's my art in the back, and just going to show you one of the video games I play tonight. It's a city building game. Y'all can see what my mind would do if I could make a city, and it's going to be like a little comedy thing we can do. We can walk around the city and people watching a video game. It's really fun. I spent a lot of hours working on that, getting that ready just so that I can introduce everybody to, and the town's named Brandon. You got to say it like that too. But it's from where I'm from, which is right outside of Tampa. And, it's my hometown. And so I just thought I'd name it that. But it'll be pretty cool to look at. I'm behind on my science stuff, so I thought maybe we could all watch Anton. He's my science dude that I always like to watch, and I got him ready to go. And you always got to support the people you like. So I've got the Wonderful Person cup, which I got from his website. I know a lot of people, look, I'm non-monetized. This is just me. If you want the job, you got to do the job before you get the job. And this has just been the most joyful experience for me. I've learned so much, and I'm just so grateful. So, feel free to live chat. It should show up here if I'm not mistaken. Let me just make sure I have this in case you all are typing it and I'm not seeing it because I'm not looking on. Let's see if I can bring that up. Refresh it. See if anybody's typed anything. Doesn't look like it. But if you all want to chat with me while I'm doing this, of course, feel free to live chat. You can also, if you know me, you have my number and my text message. You can hit me up right now while I'm doing this. If you're not comfortable writing in the chat. Once again, just to start this off, this is a promotion of a community that I'm trying to create. I always put God first, your neighbor second, yourself third. And, the whole process of the 60-day journey is for me to convince you there's a better way of doing things, that your life matters, and that we're all part of the same thing, and if we can get going in the same direction and have a dialogue together and, pray and, hopefully we can make the world better, because the world's what we make it. And I'm just really, I've had enough of seeing all kinds of crap and people yelling at each other and there not being any kind of dialogue between folks, and hopefully that's what we can do here. So if at any time, if you need, I always say this, the first thing I want to offer to anybody watching is to remind you that God loves you and I love you, and if I can ever pray for you, just put a prayer request in the chat. You can hit me up on email, on my website, on Facebook, and I can either do that with you, like this, or I can do it in private. I do have a prayer board, and I pray every day, and, it brings me joy to pray. So you could help make me happy by giving me things to pray for. And so, Lord, as we go forward in this journey together with the world and people come into our life, my life and their life, and just please keep everything lovely and honest and truthful to your word and the Spirit. In the name of your Son, Jesus Christ, I ask this. Amen. All right, so hopefully we can have some fun tonight and kind of just get the ball rolling. Once again, if you are wanting an overview of what I'm trying to do, if you go to my website, christiancapitalist.solutions, all the links are everywhere on Facebook. It's not hard to stumble on this stuff. So my blog's there. You can kind of have an overview of what's going on, and you can read a little bit about my past if you're curious. And anyway, so I'm done talking here. So let's anyway, this I'll do this. I'm going to show you this video one more time in case you haven't seen it. But this is the first video I ever really kind of like put together from stuff. So I think it turned out pretty good. So I'm going to mute the mic here so I don't trip. So yeah, that's the clip for in the morning, and that's actually, you know what? I'm glad I saw that. That's the wrong one because I changed it to morning stream, which is what it's supposed to be. Because I don't know. It just that I don't know that I don't know if anybody has seen what was the name of that show on Netflix? Anyway, art, when you construct words or pictures, and it reveals art. It's such a communal relationship with people, because it not only reveals what the artist is thinking and trying to do, but it also reveals what you're thinking. And that, anyway, so I changed it to morning stream. I thought that might be just a little bit better. So, once again, in case you're just jumping in and hearing this, all of the videos that I do that we're going to talk about and show, I think I've gotten all of the links in the description. I didn't have anything to do with the videos we're looking at. This is just part of my daily routine, what I look at when I'm on YouTube. And if you like their stuff, please go to the original source. The links are in the description below. And, like and subscribe their stuff. And let's build a community of artists and thinkers and just people that, want to be able to be heard and create, dialogue with one another. So, yeah. So, like I said, all the links are in the descriptions below. So, let's get rid of that. Oops, you don't need to see that. And ignore that. So this is Anton. Everybody say hello to Anton. He's awesome. I've been listening to him for a year or so now. So if you go to his website, this is the cup. The only thing bad, the cup's small. I drink a lot of coffee and the cup's tiny. Well, it's a normal cup, but that's not normal for me. But anyway, that's what it looks like. It's a little small, but it's great. So, and he's got t-shirts and stuff, and you can like and subscribe over there. And I think he's got, I throw him a couple bucks on Patreon every month. So, anytime you can budget yourself and have a little money every month, if you pay $15 for a streaming service like, Netflix or, whatever it is, try to, you should always try to give back to artists on YouTube or anywhere, because that's what's going to have to happen in our economy. That's what Star Trek was all about. We amass so much stuff and we become so efficient at making things that there's not going to be we're all not going to have to work 50, 60 hours a week. There won't be that many actual jobs. So we have to figure out what makes us happy, and we have to enrich ourselves and make ourselves better human beings and make our neighborhoods better and try to become better human beings. And that's the only conclusion I got. It's the only thing that makes any sense to me. But that being said, I'm excited to hear about this. I've been keeping my eye on this rover that landed on Mars. China did. So let's hear what Anton said. And like I said, all of the stuff is in the descriptions below. So please go like and subscribe over there too. So I'm going to turn down my mic. And one of the things that we're going to do in the upcoming days, as the film is 60 days, that's like 1,800 hours. I found a trick with this microphone, and anyway, but I don't want to give it all away yet. So anyway, this is I'm going to turn my mic down so I can listen with you guys. And then we'll go from there. Okay.
Person, this is Anton, and looks like the congratulations are in order for the Chinese Space Agency. They've managed to become the first ever nation to land a rover and to successfully complete a multi-stage mission with an orbiter, a lander, and a rover, all done in a single go. And this is pretty much the first time anyone's ever been able to do it. But even though the lander itself landed on Mars approximately 3 days ago, it took quite a while for us to officially get the pictures confirming the landing. And interestingly enough, during this time there was obviously a lot of speculations suggesting that maybe it just didn't survive the landing, even though all of the data received from the mission and all of the data relayed by the Chinese scientists suggested otherwise. And now we finally have those pictures because, well, it obviously took a while to transmit them. So first of all, these right here show us the actual separation of the lander from the orbiter itself. And this comes in 2 different versions, although unfortunately not super high quality versions, showing us when the orbiter is separated from the lander, or essentially when this upper part right here separated from the bottom part that is still orbiting Mars right now as well. And here's kind of what they look like together after the solar panels are extended. But then within the 2 days, the cameras from the lander transmitted the images to the orbiter, which then transmitted images back to China. And this is kind of what we got. So we have the picture right here, and then we have the picture from the other side. This is essentially the railing that is going to be used by the rover in approximately 3 days from when I'm making this video to get down to the surface of Mars for approximately 90 days. This is essentially the time limit for this particular mission. Although naturally it might last much longer and might actually transmit images and a lot of other data for as long as a year or even longer than that. Now for China, and actually for the rest of the world, this is a pretty exciting achievement. Now first of all, China becomes the second ever nation to land a rover on the surface, mostly because a lot of previous missions, including most recently the European Union mission, more or less failed. They either crashed on Mars or they had a problem on the approach to Mars. And although originally a lot of scientists estimated that the success chance here was about 50%, it definitely looks like China has learned from the mistakes of all the previous missions and managed to pull it off after all. So my sincere congratulations to all of the scientists you see right here in this picture which participated in the planning and the execution of this mission. But naturally, because China generally doesn't provide a lot of information right away, and because there's never really a live feed or any kind of a stream going on, there are still a lot of questions that need to be answered and a lot of things that are going to be relayed to planet Earth for the next few weeks as well. Although apparently in China they did have a TV program transmitting all of the images and all of the interviews, the program that China referred to as Ni Hao Mars, or Hello Mars, which I guess also means that if I ever make a Chinese channel, I'm going to be saying Ni hao, wonderful person. Anyway, moving on. So the mission definitely survived those 7 minutes of terror when we don't really get any communication or any information from the lander itself as it enters the atmosphere and has to land itself automatically. For both Perseverance and Tianwen-1, all of this had to be done autonomously, and for China especially, a lot of the risk here came from the fact that they actually never used any kind of heat shields in previous missions, mostly because they only landed on the moon where there is no atmosphere, and also because they had to use parachutes, which have also never been used. But due to the combination of planning, a lot of planning, and of
Right, okay, so this was the first time China landed something with a bunch of extra stuff on it, right? He said heat shields and the parachute. They never used those before because this is the first time they landed on a planet with atmosphere. So this is pretty cool. I mean, and one of the things I noticed, I don't know, it was just an observation, but I wonder if they're like the cost benefit of like when you're doing a project like this is if the equipment only has to last for a specific period of time, like a short period of time, like I think he said like 90 days, then you wouldn't have to build it so tough. And so I wonder if that would decrease the cost of the project and the payload might be less because you don't have to build it to last so long. I don't know. That's David being David. But I wonder if that has anything to do. But so those the rails that came down, I guess the rover comes off of it. But let's see what's going on. I'm gonna turn the mic down. I hate.
Of course, learning from the mistakes of others, plus a little bit of luck, they managed to succeed and the rover is now there. With the landing itself maybe signifying the beginning of a new space race, the space race to Mars. Now, as I mentioned previously, the mission is going to be using this rover for at least 90 days, and it's officially going to start around May 22nd, with the rover making its way down the railing and beginning the exploration by first taking a few pictures, taking the selfie and also the picture of the lander itself, and then analyzing a few rocks around the site. Now, interestingly, even though it doesn't actually look that big on this picture, this rover is surprisingly big in size. It's approximately 180 centimeters in height, which is over 6 feet tall, and it's also about 240 kilograms in weight, or roughly around 530 pounds. And so the fact that they were able to land this on the planet is quite impressive. And as you might have already heard, the name for this rover is Zhurong. And interestingly, Zhurong in Chinese mythology is somewhat equivalent to Prometheus in Greek mythology. And if you forgot, Prometheus was the god that stole fire from the heaven and gave it to the humans. But in case of Zhurong, a lot of historians today argue that Zhurong might have been an actual person, and the person here was responsible for creating fire, most likely by rubbing two sticks around, and also managing the fire and basically using fire for various purposes. But eventually acquired this kind of a godlike status because, well, I guess back in the days, nobody really knew how to control fire. And so Zhurong in Chinese mythology is seen as a kind of a god of fire, with several important people in Chinese history named after him, and also this thing right here is also Zhurong as well. With Mars of course being the planet of fire.
Sorry, I don't mean to keep stopping, but I was just making sure the top of the screen here. That is the picture is my camera over here on my art. That's my finger. And then I have the chat underneath it. So if you all go on the little chat on you all can talk to me through the chat or call me. This has been all right. Okay. No cursing in the chat. No talking about anything naughty. Anyway, okay, so that works. So, and it should fade away now. I've got it on a timer. All right. I like the little crown. I got a little crown with my name. Okay, so here we go. See, and it disappears. That's cool. Right. Okay, so he was talking about Prometheus, right? Everybody know who Prometheus is? Oh, there's that Chinese dragon guy we got to learn about. Okay, so let's back it up here. I'm sorry, everybody. Oh, I got to turn the mic off.
Zhurong in Chinese mythology is somewhat equivalent to Prometheus in Greek mythology. And if you forgot, Prometheus was the god that stole fire from the heaven and gave it to the humans. But in case of Zhurong, a lot of historians today argue that Zhurong might have been an actual person, and the person here was responsible.
Okay, Zhurong. I don't know anything about Zhurong. I don't know if you all know anything about Zhurong or not. Zhurong. I don't know how to spell that. We'll give that a shot and see. I am the worst speller in the world. Literally. Is that him? I don't know if that's the same dude or not. Doesn't look like us to me. Anyway. Oh. Whoops. There'll be plenty of time for that, right? Alright, turn the mic off.
Creating fire, most likely by rubbing two sticks around and also managing the fire and basically using fire for various purposes. But eventually acquired this kind of a godlike status because, well, I guess back in the days, nobody really knew how to control fire. And so Zhurong in Chinese mythology is seen as a kind of a god of fire, with several important people in Chinese history named after him, and also this thing right here is also Zhurong as well. With Mars of course being the planet of fire. So the name kinda matches naturally. And for those of you who are actually learning Chinese, you probably already know this, but the Chinese name for Mars is basically fire star, and that's essentially where Zhurong comes in. Now in terms of where it landed, the Planetary Society recently created this beautiful infographic, pretty much showing us all of the landers and rovers on Mars. You can sort of see the Perseverance is right here in the Jezero crater, and if we go a little bit to the east and also a little bit to the north, we'll come upon a location known as Utopia Planitia. This is actually where the Viking probe landed as well. And in this region, that sort of looks like this, and that's by the way a picture from the Viking 2 probe back in 1979. There are quite a lot of really interesting discoveries already. First of all, we know that this is a site of an extremely large impact crater, approximately 3,000 kilometers in diameter. At the same time, NASA has already discovered huge amounts of underground ice in this region, equivalent to a really large lake, and so a lot of these reasons make this region an excellent opportunity to explore for a potential human mission in the future. While at the same time this region was also most likely covered by a relatively large ocean billions of years ago, so there are definitely a lot of things for the Chinese mission to explore here. They'll most likely be looking for signs of previous water, they'll also be looking for signs of possible ice not so far from the surface, and that's because the rover also contains a penetrating radar that's going to be able to scan the ground underneath. And the mission is also going to be testing a lot of technologies for the Part 2, the Tianwen-2 mission, that's going to try to retrieve some of the samples from the surface. So basically China is planning Part 2, the sample retrieval mission. And so overall this is definitely a pretty exciting achievement, and considering the fact that this is the first time in history where all of the Martian missions were successful, this definitely could be the new era of human space exploration, and hopefully it actually keeps going. And hopefully the politics don't get in the way and stop this from happening. But nevertheless, it's still going to be pretty exciting to see what the Chinese mission discovers on Mars and what discoveries are going to be made by the rover as it explores the surface of Utopia Planitia in the next 3 months or so. Which also means that there are going to be a lot of follow-ups coming about this mission and about the Perseverance mission as both NASA and the Chinese Space Agency discover new things. But I guess until then, once again, congratulations to the whole team, and thank you for watching. Subscribe if you still haven't, share this with someone who loves learning about space and sciences, and maybe come back tomorrow to learn something else. Maybe support this channel on Patreon by joining the channel membership or by buying the Wonderful Person t-shirt you can find in the description. Either way, stay wonderful, I'll see you tomorrow, bye bye.
Look at all those people. See, that's what everybody should have like a group of people that, supports them like that. I mean, I think that's pretty cool. I think that's just so awesome. So don't forget, like and subscribe to him too if you haven't already, because it's he always talks about science, and every now and then he'll throw in something, like I think the other day he did, like, just so you can kind of get a different perspective on what he does. See. I didn't see this one, so I'm going to turn the mic down. I will have this fixed tomorrow so that we won't have to keep going back and forth like this. But anyway, I'm going to turn this down so that we don't get all the crazy.
Channel, we do talk a lot about space and various discoveries in regards to space, but mostly because it helps us understand the life around us and helps us understand how the universe works. Although sometimes to try to understand how things work around us, and of course trying to understand ourselves better, we do have to return back to planet Earth and try to discover how things work here as well. And specifically today we're going to be talking about the idea of laughter. Understanding its origins, understanding why we laugh, and more importantly, trying to understand, do other animals laugh as well? Is this something that's common to many species, or is this uniquely a human experience? And although I think most of us are aware that laughter in general is a universal human experience, no matter where you're from or what culture you have, laughter is generally perceived in a very similar way. At the same time, to try to understand human laughter, we do have to take a look at other animals and other species as well. But I guess the first question is, well, why do we laugh to begin with? What is this phenomenon of laughter? Well, evolutionary speaking, the scientists mostly believe that this is to provide information to people around us, essentially telling them that either we're having fun or that we want them to join in the fun. Or in more scientific terms, it's a kind of a vocal signal to initiate play with others. Very similar to the signal that this dog is showing us as well. And so this play initiation signal is something that many social animals have to basically show the animals around them that they're not dangerous and that you're not in trouble or in danger from them. But although animals like dogs do have these visual signals, these are not necessarily.
That was the sweetest looking puppy dog. Oh, did you see her all wagging? I don't understand anybody who thinks, they're scared of pit bulls. Pits are great dogs, and I'm more hesitant about like huskies. Those are and like Dalmatians. Those are real snappy dogs. But I mean, you can just look at that dog's face and tell if it's a boy or a girl, but she just looks like such a wonderful little baby.
Necessarily laughter, because by definition laughter has to have some sort of a vocal representation. It has to have some sort of a sound or some kind of a rhythmical motion. And though generally I guess you can argue that there's a lot of visual representation as well, normally we can kind of tell just from the picture alone if a person is laughing. If we only use the visual representation of laughter by definition, then in that sense we're not actually going to find a lot of species out there having a very similar display. However, if we consider laughter to also have this vocal element, suddenly this opens up a lot of different species that seem to display very similar patterns. Which is pretty much exactly what this paper right here discovered by analyzing something like 65 different species of animals. And as you can probably imagine, what they discovered is that humans are not the only animals to laugh. Many animals seem to do it as well, but in slightly different manners. And so here they managed to discover quite a lot of different animals. Now obviously a lot of great apes, a lot of monkeys, and a lot of primates in general display what we would call laughter, which often even sounds like human laughter. But surprisingly, they've also discovered a lot of other species essentially having their own version of different types of vocal laughter as well. And so here we obviously have dogs, different species of mongoose, especially the ones that are more social and often live in bigger groups, different types of seals and animals similar to seals, pretty much all types of foxes. And this one was a bit of a surprise for me personally, but cows tend to laugh as well, with the surprise itself being the fact that there is a cheese that I really like called the laughing cow, which really makes me wonder if the company behind this cheese actually knew something that the researchers didn't know before. And also some of these social birds as well, specifically birds like magpies, which are often extremely intelligent to begin with. And what's super interesting here is that a lot of these animals are separated by millions of years of evolution, and every one of these animals developed a very similar response to these social situations. And pretty much in every case, in every single animal they looked at, the idea of laughter was always associated with this play-like behavior that often results in, well, I guess you can call it a kind of a fight. But in order for this play fight not to get too aggressive, this is when the laughter comes in play. The animals make sure to announce that they're about to fight, but it's going to be a play fight. And although a lot of animals like primates and dogs also have the visual representation, so they'll have a play face, in dogs usually it's by, for example, bowing their head and wagging their tail. In some animals like birds, it's really just the sounds themselves. And because of this, it was really challenging for the scientists to collect this data, and they also were specifically looking for these patterns that would indicate rhythmical panting behavior, basically breathing really fast and repeatedly. And because some animals were displaying very quiet panting sounds, it was actually challenging to discover all of these 65 species. Although obviously by studying other species, we can definitely learn to understand the evolution of human laughter and its purpose in the social behavior of our species. And the scientists in this paper also, to some extent, discover the evolutionary process here as well, at least for humans and possibly for most of the other animals like primates and dogs. Since in many different species, laughter seems to manifest itself as a kind of a rhythmical panting behavior, to the scientists in this paper, this actually explains its origins. Laughter in this case very likely evolved as a kind of a cue during an extremely intensive play or some sort of a play fight, when we start breathing simply because we're tired. Which seems to be the case for many other species as well, because a lot of the play fighting results in heavy breathing. This heavy breathing then starts to produce certain sounds, and that by itself is what laughter is. Or at least it was originally. Now laughter is a lot more complex. First of all, it does serve as a cue to initiate play, but in humans it also serves a lot of other purposes as well. Obviously we laugh when we experience happiness, but we also laugh when we're nervous, when we're surprised, or when we're confused. So the laughter of human beings is definitely a little bit more complex than just play fight. But despite the complexity of laughter in humans, it still is a really simple phenomenon that many other animals seem to recognize as well. For example, laughing to your dog will often initiate a somewhat similar response from your dog as well. They'll understand that you're about to initiate play. And so in that sense, laughter is contagious and also seems to be contagious between species. But obviously not all species. Some species might not care for human laughter because their sounds are very different. Now in terms of the discovery of those 65 species, you can find the entire list in the paper in the description below, which also tells you what sort of laughter these animals experience and provide all of the known observations for pretty much all of these animals in the list. Although funnily enough, cats as always are the strange ones, because they also laugh, but they don't laugh when they play. They seem to laugh for some other unknown reasons, and their laughter is essentially a bunch of hisses. Which probably just means that they're not laughing with us, they're laughing at us, which would be a typical cat thing to do.
Yes, I was calling my big boy over here to come laugh, but I can't ever think I've heard a cat laugh. I mean, I'm trying to think of what cats are bizarre like that. Cats don't, well, whatever.
Anyway, you can learn more about this from the paper in the description. And so in a nutshell, what does this study tell us? Well, it tells us that many different mammals, many different animals developed the idea of laughter independently from one another, simply through various social interactions. And though human laughter is the most complex, other animals seem to display a lot of complexity as well. Usually though, it's not necessarily visual. In most cases, it seems to be vocal or based on sounds. And for the most part is really related to announcing to others that they're not really being serious about, for example, a fight, that it's just a play fight. And chances are that it's not just those 65 species that have this type of behavior. A lot of social species very likely display this, especially if they have the idea of play fighting. And so I'm sure in the next few years, scientists will discover even more unusual animals that tend to laugh as well, something that right now we can't even imagine. And so on that note, I guess for now that's kind of all we know. Laughter is definitely really complex in humans, but it also seems to be a universal experience for social animals. And by the way, in case you ever wanted to study laughter professionally, the science itself is known as gelotology. That's the science of laughter and humor, and that's the science that essentially tries to discover various psychological and physiological effects of laughter in human beings, but also in other species. On that note, check out the paper in the description below, subscribe if you still haven't, share this with someone who loves to learn about space and sciences, and maybe come back tomorrow to learn something else. Maybe support this channel on Patreon by joining the channel membership or by buying the Wonderful Person t-shirt you can find in the description, and maybe just come back tomorrow, stay wonderful, and as always, bye bye. What is this cat up to? It really looks like it's up to something.
I always like to watch all the names. I don't know why that gives me such hope. Like when I go on Patreon and see, that there are actually people out there that, that people get support. I think that's wonderful. And I'm not talking about for me personally, but it's just nice to see that, there's that old adage about like the 80-20, the 20% take care of the other 80 or something like that. But it's, which is why I guess I'm just so adamant about, making sure that the creators that I enjoy, that I try to throw a couple bucks at. And I don't know a lot of people. I don't talk to people about this, but if you guys want to start a conversation about this, like, just if you're listening and, do you donate money to any kind of YouTube creator? I don't know if that's like a common or an uncommon thing to do. So. Let's see what we got. I haven't really scanned this. Oh, look, there I am. That's nice to see. Well, anyway, hey, listen. Let's jump on my game here. See if everything worked out here now. All right, I'm gonna close this. Bam. Right. Let's see if I'm a pro on this. And then I come over here. Ching, ching, ching. Alrighty. I'll leave that pretty picture up there in display. Mic's on. All right, I'm going to turn the mic down just for a bit until I get this going here. All right. Okay, now if I've done it correctly, you should be able to hear me and the video game. I have one setting I have to change, but I'm not going to do it right now, just because I'm going to turn my mic down once we get playing here. I just can't hear the music in the background. Now, I did some checking, and it does say that when I stream the game, there's one music track in the background that I can't play, but I've got all the other ones, so we should be good on that. I'm just going to check the volume and everything on here. I'm going to turn and see what we got going here. Yeah, I can definitely tell the pickup when it's tripping over each other. So hopefully you're only hearing my voice right now. But I need to fix this, but I'm not going to do it right this second. But anyway, this is City Skyline. This is a city building game. It's a lot of fun. You basically design your own city. You can download all kinds of different building types from the community. I love this game. I have not touched this game in almost probably over 2 months, a month and a half. I got to a really good point, and I stopped because I didn't want to build it too much, because I wanted to share that with you guys and to have stuff for us to do together. So this is, a couple hours here and there, and but it's a lot of fun. So I am going to turn the mic down for just a little bit so we can hear the music and kind of see if I can balance some things out here so that it's not horrible to listen to. So anyway, let's see what we've got here. I'll turn the mic down. Alright, so you should be hearing both now, with no feedback from me because I got the. So anyway, this is the beginning of Brandon. I've kind of got 4 areas laid out. I don't want to just like give you a huge overview of the whole thing. But I really hope you like this. I put a lot of love into this, and anyway, let's give her a go. All right, I am going to turn. No, I'm going to turn the mic down for just a few minutes, just so I can hear the music and get everything ready.
It's lonely in my ghost town now. Everything is like you left it that day. The sound of silence is killing me, 'cause nothing here can set me free. All the streets that we've been walking along, and all the places that were you and me. Everything.
roads, all that was placed in those specific places by me. A lot of buildings, some of them I downloaded like specific things to get it to look a certain way. And the map, which has, you see the water over here, that is, anyway, so they're all different maps that you can do. So, wow, I haven't looked at this and this is so fun. I'm really glad to share this with you guys. Alright, so I'm going to turn the mic down again and then just double check all the volume and then we'll get going. I have to go to the restroom too, so I'm going to move the camera and I'm going to step away for just a few minutes and go to the big man's room and go down. But the true I did myself, and there's some assets over here that, what we call I'm pointing at that were the ones that I downloaded and stuff, but I'm really excited to show you this. But so I'm going to turn the mic down so that I can hear music going, and use the restroom. I'm going to hit play. It's on pause right now, and I'll go over. If you have any questions, just type in the chat. I should be able to. Nobody's typed anything here, so if you guys put in the chat, anyway, oh, please don't forget, if you haven't already, for the next 24 hours, I have, shoot, where did I put it? I've designed a piece. Anyway, it's on it looks really good, and I'm going to, how many people subscribe, plus my current 6 subscribers are all going to get this, and it'll be in a little plexiglass frame. I was going to mail it to you, and I'll sign it and number it, and so if whatever number of subscribers I get in the next 24 hours plus 10, that'll be the limited number that I do of this, and sign as a thank you for subscribing. And if you don't know how YouTube works, just when you hit the subscribe button, it doesn't cost anything. It doesn't take any money out of your bank account. It doesn't. I don't get any money from it. But what it does is it puts us in the algorithm, and it's a little sign up saying, "Hey, somebody liked it," and it helps other people see it. It might not otherwise do it. So please, if you haven't, I would love a like and subscribe down there. And for the next 24 hours, it's I put the image on Facebook, so it looks nice. So anyway, I'm gonna go use the restroom. I'm gonna hit play, and I'll be back and turn the mic down so I can listen to the music.
Coffee, fuel of the modern economy. The age-old Italian tradition of burning beans and drinking the bitter bean juice. At Burn Bean Coffee, our environment is perfect for all of your work needs. There's no better place to be distracted than the Burn Bean Coffee Shop and Cafe. Our coffee technicians are trained to make a variety of coffees and sugary coffee-themed drinks just as you like it, all while generally making more noise than anyone could reasonably ignore. So drink up and let the productivity flow. Sippy sip coffee fans, Burn Bean Coffee. Get it while it's hot. Due to recent court actions, we are required to warn against the drinking of hot coffee.
We are the law, accountant. The law accounting. I know what you're thinking. Are we lawyers? Are we accountants? Well, it's a complicated question, probably requiring the services of a lawyer and an accountant. Is that us? Well, what do you think? Seems to me that there's a lot of you out there who might need the use of the law accounting. But that's not legal advice. That's life advice. In fact, we're legally barred from providing legal advice. The law accounting. Officially unlicensed since 2005.
Coming up, we've got a few of my favorite tracks, including one I heard on a warm summer night I won't soon forget. I was in a yogurt shop, and it was playing on the owner's radio while I finished my vanilla pistachio swirl. Shame about that place. They raised their prices. Well, anyway, enjoy the grooves.
chat
temperature, you
comments.
got my temperature
What is it?
rising. So hot,
Oh,
you
it's so
got my
frustrating.
temperature
Okay, anyway.
rising.
So, wow, I haven't really. It just looks so nice. So, the UI that you see in front of me, stop looking down. Just adjust myself here. Actually, sorry.
Quem bota a bota encosta do molhado da da lama dessa comporta. Quem bota a bota encosta do molhado da costa. Da lama dessa comporta.
Boy, this sucks. City first looked when it started. Alright, so I guess I can be a good host here. So actually, I'm having to get used to moving the camera because I have two monitors in operation lines, right? So this part of the city right here was the original part of the highway. This is kind of how we're submerged and changed a bunch of times. And so, you know, stuff catches on fire. I don't know if you've never played City Building game before. It's very addicting, huge time sink. Music on here has but I just found out. Just the base game, you don't get a lot of extra stuff separate and the industries are separate, but they have like a starter one that's got like, if you just get that and to learn the game, I think it's probably like $20. We're talking 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 hours and you'll forget your name. I just love this game. But so this is all the original part, and I've not touched, you know, I like haven't torn stuff down other than like maybe improve the roads or change the roads a few times, but some of these houses have been there since the beginning of Brand. You have to say it like that because it's a real rich town. Now, just to give you a little background on the city, this is the story that, well, you know what, I want to draw this out because this is going to be my gravy for the stream. So anyways, this is, we'll start back over the top. So I designed on, I'm really proud of this, and I worked really hard on this. It looks so nice tonight. But this is kind of like the nice voice, and he's just very pleasant to listen to. And his stuff is a city planner, like a real city planner. And he's just he's much more of that's much more his third sphere, on the platform is, everybody.
At the Forest Foundation, we care about three things: tree things, nature things, and the third thing, bird things. The homes of native birds are being destroyed at an alarming rate. That's why our goal is to give a birdhouse to every bird on Earth. Humans stopped living in trees ages ago. It's time we invited birds indoors with the rest of us. Do your part and text Dirty Birdie to 3030 to donate a bird bath to 30 birdies. You can either be part of the problem or you can be with us, the Forest Foundation. We all want to be prepared. We all want to be sure that the people we leave behind don't think we're jerks. That's where Final Insurance comes in. We provide peace of mind for when you rest in peace. For a small monthly sum, you can spend your final years knowing that Final Insurance has everything taken care of. Final Insurance, the last insurance you'll ever need. Gaze at a gazelle. Lock eyes with a lemur. Shake hands with a turtle. At the City Zoo, you can experience the wild in our wildest exhibition yet. Come down this weekend to meet our newest addition, a three-toed sloth named Barbara. She'll hook you with her smile, and hook you again with her curved toes used to grasp trees in the wild. After that, take a gander at another new species, a new type of bird previously identified as a different type of bird due to a zoological error. Fun for the whole family. Book now and get a free handful of pellets to feed the fish. Limit 4 per family while supplies last. We'll look forward to seeing you where the animals live in rooms painted to look like home. The City Zoo.
So I have a couple universities and colleges, and part
The
of the game
relaxation
is
station.
that
Music
you build
for
them and
cool
you grow
birds.
them,
Like the
and,
magpie.
you get stuff
Now
happens, and they have
that's
2
a
toga
cool
parties. And up here it tells you like they do academic works, and each one is a different one. And you can lose
Te abraço quando me beijo,
student body.
seus lábios molhados, seus lábios molhados, suaves como mel, diz um segredo.
So part of the story of this part of town is that
Dentro do meu peito, dentro do meu peito,
so touched of the outpouring of sympathy from the town, from London, that they doubled down. It really became a spirit of a cooperation and living, and so it's supposed to be represented in the combination of the Asian architecture and it being kind of new and yeah, and it, like you see all the little cars down here, they're all random. Follow where they go. I'm gonna turn the mic down for just a little bit. If you want me to stop, look at particular, just put in the chat stop.
Seus lábios molhados, suaves como mel. Diz um segredo para eu guardar dentro do meu peito. Dentro do meu peito.
Turn the mic down. just let me know. I mean, I want to make this probably darker. Anyway, I hope you enjoy. Yeah, this since I have the mic on, this building right here is this one, well, right, the one in the back corner. This building is like a landmark, and it is an actual building. There's a great clip I put on Facebook that I'm going to find it, and so that I can show it why the guy did like a superhero add-in to the thunderstorm about this building, and it looks so good. But yeah, like if you get in there, like each one of those little spheres are, I guess they're supposed to be like an office in there, like a couple of floors in there. It's a really big, real-life building. But so when you put these buildings and they draw in tourists, and they spend money, I guess, like in the surrounding area, and, which helps your business. And so down here you can see the green is residential and the blue is commercial, and that is industrial. Once again, if you guys want, I'm going to probably leave the mic off for a while. If you have any questions, you want me to stop, and, but I just want to just chillax. So, y'all have a good night, and thank you so much for watching and hanging out with me, and really appreciate it. Say a prayer. Lord, please keep everybody safe. Everybody goes into a nice, over their head, sends in a nice soft head. This will be fun. So, so what you can do is that you can pick on the cars and the people, and with the add-on, you can get a point of view from them, and then it's completely random where they go. Like when you click on them, it'll tell you. Click on them, it'll tell you where they're going. It'll show you in a little bar, which I can show you. But this is really one of my favorite parts of the game. Is that after you've gotten the city built, you can actually get in there and see what it's like at ground level. It's a lot of fun. But all that bamboo and stuff. Sometimes the graphic card is the way it works out that it's super the way it's supposed to be. That looks kind of nice. So it's supposed to be like the border of Asian. So this is like there are two rivers that merge together over here on the right, and it's that building we started at. So you see
Square Packages, the packaging specialists, are proud to present a box on both your houses. The untold story of the invention of the box and the family rivalry that nearly destroyed it. It's a tale about opening your heart, finding acceptance, and inventing the most efficient means of shipping and packaging that mankind has ever known, proving that to find what's in your soul, you have to look outside the box and into another box, which is a house, your home. And that truly is the greatest box of all. Tune in every Wednesday at 8 for this once-in-a-week-time television event, A Box on Both Your Houses, presented by Square Packages, the packaging specialists.
We're getting on the ferry.
At Sternberger, our cars are more than just hunks of metal that take you from point A to point B. They are also composed of industrial plastics, polymers, and rubbers. We also know it's what in the car that is more important than the car itself. And that's why it can also carry up to 300 kilograms of human, animal, or consumer goods cargo. The climate control device brings the air temperature to 22 degrees Celsius. It's our way of making our cars comfortable for the majority of Americans. In fact, it is a perfect vessel for transport from short to medium distances, and we believe that the price we are asking is a fair trade for the value transfer to the consumer. Sternberger, more than just an auto.
You're on a train whose final destination is the relaxation station.
Or we might not get the transitions. Let's see. Whoops. Because this is like an add-on, like this, I don't know if this is the original part of the game, so some of the transportation graphics are not finished, or this is as good as it's going to get this far. Follow this. And we won't go into the design the path where they go. It's a little tricky because they can't cross and there's certain rules and stuff. Yeah, I built all not the actual buildings, but the zone. So we're going to cross the river. So this island is one of the founders of the city. That was that island I was telling you about. Kind of give you an idea of how big everything is. And there's more on the other side. One of the things I love to do is, sorry if it's a little choppy. I had to change the settings and still get used to keep movements on these things. So. I know where that is. So, see, they all have different names, and it gives you kind of their wealth, and if they live in like another dwelling. So what's going on right now is there's no animation for the train, but so we're literally underground right now in the downward upward view. So anyway, let's get out of this and keep going. So. Go into any of the buildings per se. This is kind of gives you really interesting. And she's getting off the train, or he, and right? See, that's cool. I love that. I think it looks great. So this is another part of town over here in front of us. This is kind of like the green area, like all the buildings are made of like green materials, and they use less energy. There's plants growing on the outside. That gives you another view of across the river. That's like the headquarters for like all the transportation stuff. And this is this is like a huge urban farm. So Dunlop kind of mill out here for a little bit. Now if I don't change the character that we're at, they will eventually go somewhere else. This is, if you know anything about me, I'm a big, I love aquaponics and urban farming. This is, when I found this in the game, I thought it was really cool. This is like definitely me. If I were to design a town, it would be a great big old building in the middle of it, 3 feet from it. So that's where we were. That's what it looks like from. So and then the subway that we were on came under here. So the idea of this was that they built they designed it so that there was like a huge kind of natural seawall, and so they built which allowed them to drill like a tunnel for the subway, and this is like the Fisherman's Wharf kind of area. It's like a leisure place. So one of the things that I did is that I kept the cars on the ground and over the real busy intersections, I elevated the pedestrians, and it allows the safety for the pedestrians, and it doesn't hold up the cars. And then if you notice on the roads here, those green strips, those are supposed to be like bike lanes, and so because the bikes have to obey the same laws as the cars, they don't, so pedestrians, one of the things, it's like a joke about London, is the only thing straight about Brandon are the roads, and so all the roads are like distance, which is supposed to be depth, and this is one of the things about the town. It's this little running gag. Anyway, so, and these are, I guess these are like little police stations, and you can do walking tours and bicycle tours, which we'll get into. I just love this game. And that's the big chapel that they built, to recognize the benefactor of the city. But he originally, this was originally the church because the guy was a minister. But it was this church right there. This was the one he ministered out of when the town was really tiny. That one right there. And then at its 100th anniversary, he built this huge memorial church. And right across the street, there's the Children's Health Center, and it's free children's health for everybody. And it's of course right across the street from the church, because it should be. But that's it. So, let's see. See, and it tells you where they work, and Sophie Richardson, and she's happy. He's going to Park Cafe number 1. Tanya always says, God, you got so many old people. I was like, well, somebody's got to pick up the bill. So you can get like flowers and stuff and put on the road. I haven't done all of that yet. But I really love the way it looks with the elevated walkways. I think it just adds a really nice futuristic. Precious cargo. But that really did the elevated walkways. If you do have an issue with like really big intersections, if you can throw a walkway over it, it'll really help out with the traffic. So yeah, put that. So all of this, not exactly what the buildings look like, but like the cafe. So I designed this to be a kind of a park entrance. So in the game, there's like everybody that goes in that gate is supposed to be paying. So like cha-ching, cha-ching. But here, let's see where this. Going to the ecos.
The Brontosaurus. For millennia, these gentle and graceful giants roamed the earth, grazing off the lush vegetation of the time. Their mere existence transformed the landscape and made a lasting impact on our world. It's that legacy that Dino Oil is proud to continue by using their eons-old dead bone goop to fuel your 5-door wagon, making it the oldest form of recycling there is. Dino Oil. Embrace the power of bones.
It's Super Salmon Days down at Fish Brothers. For a limited time,
So
bring in
a lot of
any fish
pedestrians,
and get a child salmon
lot of
entree free.
pedestrians,
You heard right, bring in
can do
any fish
things
and get a
with,
free
like,
child salmon entree.
policies
And
and
I
stuff,
mean any fish.
encourage
Got a swordfish
people to
lying
walk.
around? Bring it in.
And the
Got
healthier
a goldfish
that
you're sick
helps
of
keep
feeding?
the
Bring it in.
citizens
Got a fish that's been
healthy,
sitting in the sun
and
for a few
the
days?
healthier they are, the
Bring
longer
it
they
in.
live,
We'll
and
throw it in with the
longer
rest
they
of them.
live,
What we do with the fish is nobody's business but ours.
better
Just
for
enjoy
the
your salmon, $8.99 with our
And so
famous
it's a nice
stew.
mix of young
So,
people,
welcome on
and
into
a lot
Fish
of the
Brothers
young people
Seafood
are
Themed
kind of
Restaurant,
like
where everything's a
condensed
great
into,
catch.
like by the university areas and stuff.
You're listening to
So
the
there's a lot of
relaxation
love
station.
that people put into this
Sort of a random point,
community
but if
with
you were
like
doing
designing
anything
the buildings and
no, I'll be
you
here.
know,
Like I am
park
every
stuff
day.
and
Every day.
we're going into the residential area now. This is part of the older part of the town, the original that I showed you at the beginning. It's kind of a super high well area. So this is a young person going to school. So you design where you put the high school's at. Now I have to admit that I do have the like it is a game, right? And I noticed that when you get up to right around 95,000 people, that something goes kind of crazy with the budget, and I'm having a real hard time keeping all that in order. But because this is oh, I shouldn't do that. Oh my god. This has been a long day, guys. I'm sorry. I'm just so made it over the finish line. Just thank everybody for yep, here we are at school. Let's see all the young people. Who's got skateboards? High school. This is the new residential area. It's the chapel, so kind of makes like a U-turn. The U. 90210, what was the name of that show? It's like the Beverly Hills School. And then you can do this too. You can do that to a car going home. Probably won't go that far, but and then I use that same principle with the using elevation in smaller roads when they cross major intersections. You can design it so that like the flow and where people are going, as long as the people that are on this road don't need to, they're purposely on this particular road because they don't need to go anywhere else. That didn't come out quite right, but the point is that I put a lot of work into like people going from group A to B, point A to B. Oh yeah, and you'll notice in Rwanda that these suckers, they drive, and the idea is that everyone is these are not fully automated cars, but there are certain the cars don't crash in Rwanda, and so everybody just goes as fast as they can from point A to B. And you'll notice like it looks sometimes like the trucks are going to like literally tip over, but that's how we drive in Rwanda. That's how we are going to go, and that is one of the things that I've noticed in this game. Success is getting cars on a road that they can go in, which has been really helpful. And like so, we can. This has been a while. I can't see traffic. Alright, so these are all your little views over here, so you can get all kinds of stuff. So this is our traffic. Right, so 71% of 100,000 city is not bad. Of course, the green is, gravy, and the red is, makes me angry. But, so anyway, thank you all. If you all are like, I really enjoying like, thank you for spending time with me and this is and you can do it too. That's one of the things that sell at the auction house, and the veteran players in that Golden Barn could buy it and, you know, use it for, you know, things for, you know, player housing or care. And, you know, I mean, I even the professionals, I think that a casual solo player should be able to this isn't a presentation of, you know, maybe I should be ashamed, but I'm not. And I am going to do this. And at the end of the 60 days, you know, maybe I'll only end up saying, do you want fries with that? I really hope not. You know, one of the things that I talk about, like, you know, throughout this adventure is, you know, as a 30-year food and beverage veteran, I can tell you this: you can only fake smile so many years, like 12 hours a day, so many years. And that does something to a person, and it does something to your soul. And, you know, when you talk about like nurturing, one of the things that is really hard on the service industry, like servers and cooks, is that, you know, like, because I did construction too, right? So like you are in construction and you build something, right? Like you, at the end of the day, you're like, I did that, and you see it, and it's there. But man, pack all the stuff up and ship it all over the place. And I mean, I may not be doing your exact job or have done your exact job, but I promise you that I work 12 hours a day on my feet. Beer, food, I work my tail off. And I know hour after hour after hour of what that work goes to. And I just know that I pray for all of us to this work. I hear you and I feel for you and I love you. And we're going to work this out. We're going to figure out a way that we can all participate in our economy and not kill us, some of us. Anyway, I'm going to listen to some music now so that I stop talking and you all can enjoy Ron.
What does it feel like to drive a cloud? What does it feel like to steer a river? What does it smell like to smell a mountain? At Jubilee, we're committed to letting you do the impossible, and now we've succeeded in letting you drive the undrivable. The Jubilee Dementia. The car engineers said shouldn't be made. Test drive one today and experience what scientists for decades claimed was beyond the realm of safe driving. Jubilee. Be reasonable or be fast.
Bring the whole family to At the Old Grain Mill, old-fashioned family restaurant. At the Old Grain Mill always has the best service and the best home-style meals in town. We'll make sure you always leave At the Old Grain Mill with a smile and a full belly. Now, be sure that you come down to At the Old Grain Mill, old-fashioned family restaurant, and not the abandoned grain facility at the edge of town. It's not safe for visitors and poses serious risks to anyone who dares enter that old mill, which was forced to close down years ago. We ordered our sign and uniforms before we learned of the existence of that dangerous old flour mill, so we are not responsible for what happened there on that awful, awful night. We just want to focus on making great meals every night at the Old Grain Mill, old-fashioned family restaurant. At the Old Grain Mill, from our family to yours.
Lights, camera, movie. There's nothing like watching a movie to take you to another place or time. And there's no better place to watch than Drome Cinema. And no better time than the time it takes you to get from where you are to where we are. You'll break box office records of fun as you take a trip to Tinseltown Movieville, USA. Action, cut, quiet on the set. Our theaters feature noise-absorbing fabric, guaranteeing the only thing you hear is the movie. That high-pitched shuttle drone is normal. It's the sound your ears hear when there's nothing for your ears to hear here. So come on down and enjoy the movies where everyone's a star.
The relaxation station for those looking for something smooth while on the move.
like the Fisherman Wharf area, and so these are all like little restaurants and stuff. So it's like really cool. All these big buildings up there are supposed to be like hotels and like really nice residential places. So you can, walk down the little pathway and come down to this like world famous restaurant row, and all these awesome seafood restaurants, and pasta restaurants, and with actual fresh meat. That's a restaurant, not a bar. And so that's like right by the park, and you can come in and well-lit path back to the hotel, and where you live, and all these people hanging out, ching-ching, having fun, and see all the recycling stuff, so you can keep the trash on the ground. I love it. And so the building up there on the right is, that was a little see, and that's the other side. That's more like the industrial fishing. And that big statue, fire over there. Another monument to the guy jumping in the river and saving all these people. So the story is supposed to be that the boat was like a big college party boat, and so the people were like really tore up from it. And so that's supposed to be like the boat that they drug out of the water. There's a lot of monuments and stuff. The story later upon layer of story. That's where this big statue in the river he used to live on the island and light a fire, so that's where of course, way before there was electricity. 200 years later. But the idea is this young man who believed in God, who went out of his way to protect other people, and the fishermen were, he was well loved among the fishermen, and they, so it was kind of like a legend that when he was like a baby, they found him floating down the river in a basket, and nobody ever really knew who his parents were. He lived on that little island and would light a bonfire every night to keep the boats from crashing. And so, but sometimes it rained and but whatever. So a boat crashed and there was a bunch of really wealthy, young college kids, and they were just so awestruck at his bravery and whatnot. They convinced their parents to kind of come in and develop this area. They found a lot of natural resources to make sure that they had a green economy and they took care of renewed everything, and it ended up paying off. So this is kind of, I always like to start there, with the tower in the back. Is that the Pearl Tower? That kind of gives you a focal point. So look how big the detail of the building are, like the helicopter pads up there. Because you're just that important, you gotta get off the damn helicopter. It's cool. The train, so you can click on this right here. It says number of passengers, so you want a lot of passengers. This is elder care, and this is the medical laboratory where they experiment on oh, and I love this building. This is one of the guys, I support this dude on Patreon. and I don't say that to like, I'm not like, oh, look at me, I do that. I say that to like lead by example, right? You know, and to put my money where my mouth is. And so, but I love his speed. He does really good work. His buildings are really, compared to the others, maybe it's the others were done to make it easier graphically on the computer, but it's like just, it looks just so clean compared to the other buildings. I just love that. So in each of these little icons and stuff that you see in the back here are, that's my industry area, and they're telling me that they need, now we do need to take care of this because this could get kind of bad. So there is a little bit of maintenance you got to do. This is the cemetery, so they need, the bodies have piled up. So there's a little crematorium around there, so they'll burn some bodies. It's just part of the game. And like, see, this one's empty, and so that one will start getting some. So if you like games where there's like manufacturing and like you got to do this to build that, to get this to build that, the industry part of this game is a little bit like that. It's really fun to figure out because you got to have supply routes, and I'm really good at that sort of thing. So I've kind of nailed it. That's like a whole other thing. So I'm gonna save this, and then I'm gonna put some music on. I'm running out of steam. This has been a super long day. I'm gonna send it, and I'm gonna pause it, whatever, and then I'm sorry, guys, I'm out of steam. And then switch to another, like immediately switch to another thing and upload this just to see if I've got any kind of strikes or notes, because I'm trying just to be really careful about, you know, because it is there is so much to learn about the legality of this and what you can stream and listen to in the background, and what you have to do to be able to get monetized, because if this turns out to be something that I'm good at, people want to like support me, and it's entertaining, and I would eventually like to, I mean, who wouldn't? I'll never eventually like to be able to turn this into a small, revenue stream, and that would be icing on the cake, because I'm learning so much of how to do these kind of things. The layout, and designed all the layers, and picked all the pictures and the fonts and where they went and whatnot. So this is I'll fix that. So I just wanted to give it a good, let you guys know that I'm trying, and I didn't just like plug something in and be like, here, I really wanted to give you a quality thing to look at and take pride in, this sort of thing. So, all right, well, I'm gonna save the game, and we'll definitely come back tomorrow. And then I also have another game I play. It's a superhero game, and we can talk all about that later. But I'm really ready to drink my water, and I'm gonna make a cup of chamomile tea, and I would be out. So thank you all very much. I hope you all stay real entertaining today. Don't forget, at any time, if y'all want me to pray for somebody, call me. And what 520. Alright, there we go. I'm running out of steam, man. Quit. Quit to desktop. Definitely need to use that rectangular head. It's not really round, it's like a big rectangle. Right, and then I just have to come over here and hit this button. Voila! And that's what it looks like. That's what my little setup looks like. My little... Right, there we go. So that's the fifth element. That is like 1/100th of the piece. It's literally 6 feet tall, but don't tell anybody. So anyway, isn't that a pretty picture? A little lighthouse there by the ocean. You kind of hear the birds. Bet it's really windy. Okay, so let me put some music on. I'm going to change this to see if this worked out. Right, and then I need to refresh this. Right, there we go. So this is the nighttime screen. This is when I'm going to make sure is there a mic on this? No. Okay. I got scared there for a minute because on the nighttime screen I don't have a mic set up, so it's like, oh my god, you mean it's like just spent the last 2-3 hours with no mic set up? Okay. Well, this has been really, really amazing. I'm gonna sleep so hard. Let's put some music on, David. These people don't need to. Okay, so I'm gonna, on purpose, no more mic for a while, so I can get ready for bed. But I'll leave you guys with some music, And hopefully I can find out whether or not I can like have a movie going in the background. I mean, anyway. No, I'm not going anywhere, but I am going on silence for a while. So, and then I'm going to drop this stream and switch over to another one, just so that I can get this uploaded and see if I got any pingy pings. So, I'll be back in just like a moment. I'm switching. Okay, now you should hear me. I'm going to try this, and then I'm going to put some music on. While I'm getting ready for bed. There we go. Let's see here. All right, there we go. There we go. Let's see here. Okay. All right. So no more reverb there, and then I think I need to add let's see, do this real quick here, and I'll do just okay. And then I can Right. Mic's on. You guys can still hear me, I'm sure. Right. So, in case you're, I don't even know if you guys. I'm really hoping you all aren't getting. No, you shouldn't. Just go ahead and close that, and then alright, you shouldn't see that. Alright, I'm going to turn this off. Nice. Okay, now I know, while I'm getting ready for bed, I know I can... Sorry. Y'all can still hear me, I'm sure. That's old. So, audio library. So I don't know if you all know this or not. Y'all can still hear me. Like if you ever like trying to do this in the studio, like there's an audio library, and all of those songs, like you can play. Like you don't even have to worry about it. You don't have to give any kind of credit. Now on the, like there's another like common source thing that I donated to, and they have like an audio thing, but you have, some of those you have to, depending on the region of the world you live in and what, you know, some of them have different monetization requirements and whatnot, but it's really easy to understand. And but these are great, and so you can like filter. So if you want, like since it's night, we can just do mood, and we'll do calm, and we'll see what we get here. All right, and then have sound effects, and that's really nice. And you should just be able to hit. Turn the mic off so I can. So that nice little music in the background. You can hear me now. We'll turn the mic off or down. All of this music is on the audio library on YouTube Studio. And we'll have the screen in the background so you can't see it. But this camera's going to stay on all night long. There should be absolutely no reason why I get any paying or copyright anything, because all of this is on YouTube. This is all my art, clip art. It's all, everything is laid out. This is my art. It's my website. You can click on that, it takes you to my website. But search pages, got some art on there, links to everything, Facebook, everything. So. Take a little break, guys. Get brush my teeth and get ready for bed. I'm gonna leave the camera right where it is for right now. So you guys hear do a prayer right before I get in bed with everybody. Thank you all so much for hanging out with me. It's been a lot of fun tonight, and talk to you all a little bit further.